Morning, Captain. All the best for the final.
Thank you.
It's the first time Test match will be happening here in June at this ground. Keeping that in mind and keeping the weather, what are your thoughts on the combination?
Yeah, look, we've been hearing about not much of cricket has been played here in June, but county season actually has been played here. We saw there was a game played a couple of weeks back here. So it's not like it's the first game of the season happening on this ground. We are quite aware of what the conditions are, what is going to happen in the next 5 days. The weather forecast looks all right. But yeah, in terms of the combination, I think it's better that we wait till tomorrow. That's a common answer, I think.
Hi Rohit, all the very best for the match tomorrow. I just wanted to ask कि अभी जो मैच जो होंगे ये अब हम लोग कंडीशंस की बात करें सब कुछ करें बट एक बात हमेशा होती रहती है इंडिया इतने आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट नहीं जीता ये वो क्या ये चीज़ दिमाग में प्ले कर रहा है एक एक्स्ट्रा एडेड प्रेशर की तरह कि इतने दिन से आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट नहीं जीता भारत ने?
नहीं, देखिए, हम लोग को पता है हमने क्या जीता है और क्या नहीं जीता है. बार बार उस चीज़ के बारे में सोचने का कोई मतलब है नहीं. लास्ट ईयर जब हम लोग ऑस्ट्रेलिया में थे T20 वर्ल्ड कप के वक्त हमें वो सवाल फिर से तभी भी किया गया था और तभी भी मैंने यही जवाब दिया था कि प्लेयरों को पता है, सबको पता है कि इंडिया ने कब जीता है कब नहीं जीता है. तो उसके बारे में बार बार सोचना आई डोंट थिंक जायज़ है. यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन कि अभी क्या सिचुएशन है कैसे हम अच्छा कर सकते हैं. तो सारे प्लेयर्स कोचिंग स्टाफ का पूरा ध्यान इसी चीज़ में है कि हम इस मैच में कैसे अच्छा कर सकते हैं और जीत सकते हैं. क्योंकि जो हो चुका है और जो आगे होने वाला है उसके बारे में सोचने का कोई मतलब है नहीं. प्रेजेंट के बारे में सोचना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो हमारी टीम का सारा फोकस फिलहाल इस मैच पर है कि इस मैच को हम कैसे जीत पाएंगे.
Rohit, I know you said you're going to wait until tomorrow to decide upon the team, but how difficult is it to potentially leave out a player like Ravi Ashwin when you consider all that he's achieved in Test cricket if you don't play two spinners?
Yeah, see, I have not said that Ashwin is not going to play. We'll wait until tomorrow. Because one thing I have seen here, the pitch actually changes quite a bit day to day. Today it's looking the way it is. Tomorrow it might be slightly different. Who knows? So the message to the boys has been very clear. All 15 must be ready to play at any point in time. And we'll see the conditions tomorrow as well and make that decision as to who gets into that playing 11.
Hey Rohit, just talking about this is one of the second or third world title kind of event that you are going to be leading. It's not been such a long time that you've been in the seat also. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind by the time whenever you decide to leave the captaincy? Whenever you move on from captaincy, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
I've gotten the job to make sure that we take Indian cricket forward every time, whoever it is, whether it's me or someone else. Even the guys before, their role was to take Indian cricket forward and win as many games, as many championships as possible. For me also it will be the same. I want to win games, I want to win championship. That is what you play for. And yeah, it will be nice to win some titles, win some extraordinary series, but yeah, like having said that, I genuinely feel that we don't want to put too much pressure on ourselves by thinking overthinking about these kind of stuff. As a captain, like I said, every captain wants to win championship, so I'll be no different. I also want to win championship, and that's that's what that's what the sport is all about, winning championship. For me, it'll be nice if I can win 1 or 2 championships, as in when I decide to move on from this job. So it'll be nice. So we'll wait and see what happens. Tomorrow, we'll start another challenging. The next 5 days will be quite challenging for us and gives us the opportunity to win the championship. But we do understand that winning the championship is not easy. You got to do a lot of things right to win the championship. So right now the focus is just on that, how we can come out on top and do well in this game. So the talks, the preparation has just been around that. I haven't really thought about what is going to happen in the future. Honestly, it's always nice because I'm somebody who's always believed that what you have in front of you, focus on that rather than thinking way too ahead, what can happen in the future, what kind of things you want to do. But yeah, there are certain things that I've set in my mind that I want to do. So hopefully I can achieve that.
Rohit, the 10:30 a.m. start, half an hour early. How does that alter the game in England?
How does that?
Alter the game, change the game. Well, it's 11 o'clock.
I mean, see, the last championship we played was also at 10:30. In England, I mean, half an hour difference doesn't make too much of a difference. Honestly, we played a lot of cricket in England in the last two years. So I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference whether it starts at 11 or 10:30. As long as we are focused on what we want to do and things that we want to do, I think it's all good. Like I said, whether it's 10:30, 10:45 or 11, it doesn't really make too much of a difference.
Rohit, recently Ricky Ponting said that English conditions will suit Australia more than India. So what is your take on this venue, the neutral venue?
That's his point of view. He is allowed to give his opinion. Only the time will tell which team has used the conditions really well. The people who are watching the game, the experts, they'll have their opinion. They'll talk a lot of things before the start of a championship like that, a build-up to the championship. But honestly, for us, it doesn't really matter because we know what is at stake, and we need to focus on that. And that is what the team is going to do. Whoever uses the conditions really well probably will win the game. As simple as that. And also handling the pressure during the course of this 5 days, because there will be times where the teams will be under pressure in these 5 days. So you just got to adapt and handle that pressure really well to come out on top.
Rohit, you talk about adaptability, and I know during the Border Gavaskar Trophy also you talk about preparations, how important it is. So English conditions, we all know that is the toughest place for an opening batter, to face the Red Dukes ball, and we'll have an early start also. So for someone like Subban Gill who will be playing his first Test match in England, what going to be your advice to him?
No, actually the way he's batting at the moment, I don't think he needs an advice. It's just about his preparation, how he is prepared in the last 5 or 6 days since he's come back from the IPL. He's played in these conditions before. He played that World Test Championship final, and then he played that one-off Test match which happened last year as well. Gill is somebody who likes to bat. He's a batter who likes to bat, likes to spend a lot of time in the middle. As you saw, I know even though it was a T20 format, but you saw he got big hundreds. Likes to be out there in the middle, and face that challenge. That is what he likes, and that is what I will also hope, and Team India will also hope, that he spends a lot of time in the middle and play well like he's been doing in the last 6 or 8 months. So to be honest, not really too much to tell him. It's just about for him giving him that confidence because he's a very confident player. So it's just about giving him more and more confidence.
Hi, Rohit. You spoke about the team which handles the pressure better. So, what exactly do you tell this team a day before the game, in terms of how to handle the pressure?
Say again, please.
You spoke about how the team that handles pressure well is also going to have an edge.
Yeah.
So, a day before the game, what are you telling the team? What are you talking to them about? How do you handle the pressure? It's a knockout game also.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit about that. And have you had a look at the wicket? What did you make of that?
See, certainly I cannot talk to anyone right now because there's not many guys who have turned up today. But we're going to have a team briefing today evening. But yeah, look, since the time we've come here, the talk has been around, how we can play well, what are the things we need to do as a team. A lot of the guys in our squad are quite experienced right now. So, and they have been in the situation where there was too much pressure and they've come out on top. Every individual at some stage of their career have faced that kind of pressure. So it's just putting themselves in those situations and thinking about it. Whoever takes the field tomorrow has or have gone through that kind of pressure before in their career. So I don't think I need to talk to them personally about how to handle those situations. They have handled it pretty well. Whoever, like I said, whoever it is from the playing 11, at some stage they have faced that pressure. So it's just about again handling that pressure, thinking about what are the right things to do under pressure at that point in time. And if we can do that all well, I think we will have a good time out in the middle. And talking about the pitch, yeah, I saw it yesterday. I didn't had a chance to see it today. 9:15 was the press conference. Never thought it will be so early. So I'll go and have a look at the pitch. But yeah, looks a bit of help for the seamers definitely with the overhead conditions as well. It's going to assist seamers fair bit. I don't know how, drastically, the pitch changes quite a bit in this part of the world. Like, when we played the last test match here in Oval, it looked very similar to this. And then as the game went on, as the day went on, it got better and better, slower and slower. And the reverse swing came into play as well on day 5th. So, yeah, we're going to consider all of those factors and see what will be the right combination for us to go.
Yes. This is obviously the second time India have been in this final. Is there anything you've learned from the game against New Zealand that could be useful to you in this match?
Yeah, look, last time we played, we did make few mistakes, which we have already spoken about in this group. Obviously, there are a few guys missing from that squad. But yeah, we are quite excited about the squad as well. It's a good challenge to have, and yeah, we know exactly what went wrong for us in the last championship final. So we hopefully will not repeat those kind of things. That is all you want to do as a sportsman. You don't want to repeat mistakes. That can get the better results eventually. So I hope we've played the opposition a fair bit in the last 2 or 3 months, so we know what they're capable of. So it's just about considering all the factors and pulling it through.
Rohit, after 2 months of rigorously shuttling down from one city to another during the IPL, so how could you recover from the fatigue? or it is still continuing?
We've been playing cricket like this for last, I don't know how many years, series after series. I don't know when was the last time we had a good amount of break. But honestly, all the guys are used to playing a lot of cricket now. That is why we talk about this workload management. We try and rest players wherever we can to make sure that they are fresh for this upcoming series and things like that. So this is part of your job now. You do understand that there's a lot of cricket that has been played, but it's important to manage the players, manage their loads, make sure that they're fresh, and we are trying everything we can from our side to make sure that everyone's fresh. And it's not just now, we've been, even last year, we played IPL, then we came to UK, we played that test match, and then we played 3 ODIs, 3 T20s after that. So it's been happening almost every year now like that. So it's nothing new for us. We are quite used to this kind of schedule. But that is where the management comes into play of managing players and their workloads.
First of all, last time you toured India, you lost the series. India toured Australia twice and they won the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So 3 series victories India have. Do you think can beat India with 3 back-to-back series win against you?
Do you think we can beat? Did you say? I couldn't hear the question.
Do you think you can beat India considering believe you can beat India because the last 3 series?
Yeah.
Or last series, 2 at your home ground and 1 in India.
Yeah, absolutely. We've obviously played some really good cricket in the last few years to be in this position to play in the final against India, who have also played really good cricket. So makes for a good week, but we're certainly confident that we can win, yeah.
Steve, 6 tests over the course of less than 8 weeks. But how important is this match to you and your teammates?
Oh, I mean, it's really important. I think the World Test Championship now, having the 2 best teams play in a final, I think is great. Adds a little bit more relevance, I suppose, to Test cricket. So, it's what we all work towards for a couple of years. And this week should be an exciting one, and yeah, the guys are looking forward to it.
If I can just ask one more, how helpful has your time been at Sussex? I know you've probably not batted as much as you wanted to, but you had 3 knocks. How helpful has that been in readying yourself for what's to come?
It's been good fun. I've enjoyed my time in England so far. It was good fun playing down at Sussex. There were a good bunch of guys and some really talented players. So I enjoyed it. Had a couple of good hit outs and ready to go now.
Steve, when you played India last time in India, Jadeja and Ashwin, obviously, big parts of your preparation and thinking about them. What is it this time that you're thinking about in terms of their pace and their spinners?
I think they've got a good mix, obviously, of quality seam bowlers. Shami and Siraj, probably their 2 main guys who have really good skills, and I think the Duke's ball suit them nicely. And then obviously their spinners as well, who bowl really well in all conditions. So I think they're a good attack, and we're going to have to play well against them this week.
Steve, I was going to ask you, you've played in a One-Day World Cup final, a T20 World Cup final. Is it a similar feeling going into this one, or is it a bit different given it's not a tournament as such? And secondly to that, will it mean as much if you win it as being a world champion in those 2 formats? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I haven't thought too much about it in that aspect. It's obviously been a good couple of years of Test cricket, and to play in a final of the World Test Championship is pretty special. But I don't know, until we sort of go out there and get started, I don't know how it'll feel. But it's been a good build-up the last few days. We've had some good days training down in Beckenham, and
we get to have a hit at the Oval today and tomorrow. So no, we're looking forward to that. But yeah, it should be a really good week.
And if I could just go one more, if that's all right, Cole. Obviously, the other day, we heard David Warner say that he had laid out his plans when he will retire. Last summer, you had about 5 or 6 dates you threw up. That could be today, could be 5 years' time. Have you got?
You don't want to expand on that, do you, mate?
No.
What did you feel, just going on that, what did you feel about Davey being so precise with his dates? Just seems, does it put any more pressure on him or the selectors in terms of how he's going, or do you just realise as a professional sportsman you're only there as long as you're going all right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's nice to have an end date, I suppose, if that's the way you want to go. But ultimately, it's for all of us. We've got to be doing our job, and as bad as that scoring runs, so that's all of our jobs. But yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, I think Davey said that's when he'd like to finish up. But yeah, he's got to score runs, all of us. So we'll see what happens.
And playing at the Oval, this is the earliest the Test match has ever been played at the Oval, and looked a bit sort of green from what I saw when I was here yesterday. I mean, obviously, usually at the end of a summer, when you play here at the Oval, it's sort of a bit worn and can spin a bit. What are you expecting here now, and who's going to have the advantage as a result of that work in history?
Yeah, I haven't had a look at the surface yet, so I probably can't say too much. But you're right, usually the back end of the summer, it's a bit drier. Some spin can come into play, particularly as the game goes on. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what the surface looks like, and we'll go from there.
Steve, I know this is the next game that's on your agenda, and so it's got all your focus, but I guess it's kind of hard not to avoid Ashes chat because you're in England. I mean, how difficult has it been to kind of separate the two? Even the Aussies have talked about it being a 6-test series. How are you kind of clearing your mind over one versus the other?
I'm just playing each game as it comes. I'm not even thinking about the opposition too much. Just going out and playing the game, and that's really it, to be fair. So we'll get through this game and then we'll start focusing on England after that. But yeah, we're all just looking forward to this week. As I said before, it's 2 years in the making, I suppose, of getting to the final of the World Test Championship. So it's a big week for us and India. So we'll get through this and then we'll focus after that.
So did you watch the Ireland Test at all? Do you pay any attention to who did what, and obviously now Jack Leach being injured?
Yeah, I watched little bits and pieces. Yeah, England played pretty well, didn't they? So, yeah, obviously the news of Leachy broke yesterday. I think it's a real shame. He's done really well for England the last 12, 18 months in particular. And I think it's going to be some big shoes for them to fill. I don't know what way they'll go, but yeah, big shoes to fill. But yeah, obviously feel for him. He obviously wants to be involved in the big series and Ashes series. So yeah, hopefully he recovers well.
And just finally from me, Cole says that you were held up by protests at a go slow on the way to the ground. Are you expecting more protests during this week and maybe at the game itself, bearing in mind what they're protesting about and who you're sat in front of?
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea. So we'll wait and see and play it by ear.
Steve, there's obviously this match and Ashes and then also an ODI World Cup this year, and David has mapped out his retirement route. Is there a sense that this is a really important year for this group of Australian players, those of you who have been around a while, to leave a legacy in those two formats, particularly Test match and then when we get there, one-day cricket as well?
Well, I mean, every game you play for your country is important. Every series is important, but yeah, certainly the Ashes series here, it's one that's eluded us. We've never won here. We got close last time, but couldn't quite get over the line. But it's certainly something that I'd love to tick off my bucket list, winning an Ashes series here. Yeah, and in terms of one-day cricket, obviously the World Cup's the biggest tournaments in white ball format. So, it's still a little while away, so we'll focus on that later. But, yeah, it's certainly one that we want to win as well.
Thanks, Will. Steve, obviously a huge occasion here with the Test Championship final and the Ashes. Just in terms of the future of Test cricket, as someone who loves the game, There you go. What do you think of the future of the game, and are you concerned at all, given some of the reports around franchise leagues and the expanded footprint?
Yeah, I am slightly concerned, but yeah, hopefully Test cricket still stays alive and well. I think it's in a good place at the moment. You know, in terms of some of the games we've seen recently have been pretty amazing. So, yeah, for me, as I suppose a traditionalist, someone that loves Test cricket, I hope it still remains at the front of all the boards' mind and yeah, stays alive and well for some time to come.
And just in terms of the way the group's been preparing, how was Josh Hazlewood from your view? Was he close, and do you think he can still play a pretty key role in the Ashes?
I mean, yeah, the way he bowled the other day was, I faced him out in the middle and it was pretty good. So we know the skills he possesses. I think he was pretty close for this game, and I dare say he'll be fit the game after. So we'll see what way the selectors want to go, I suppose, but I think he'll be on the table.
Steve, just on the last point there, we got Michael Neese has come into the squad and he's been had a good stint at County the last couple of months and he's been bowling pretty good in the nets, what we've seen. I'm sure you've got faith that he can come in and do a good job if he does win selection?
So much faith. He's a quality performer. Obviously faced him against Glamorgan a couple of weeks ago, bowled beautifully. He's got great skills. And he's added some skills, I think, while he's been over here. I think some of the in-swingers we've seen him bowl, when the wicket's probably a bit flatter, he still swings the ball. So he's got loads of skills, and he's batting nicely as well. So he's a great package, and yeah, if he gets an opportunity, I'm certain he'll do a very good job.
Steve, I just wondered how, if obviously Josh is not playing, if Scotty Boland gets the nod, what are you expecting from him on the possibility the wicket could be a little bit green and do a bit?
I think you'll get what Scotty does pretty well. Hits a good length, hits the top of the stumps, nips the ball around, can swing it if he wants to, and yeah, he's got great skills as well. So no doubt it'll be a challenge if he gets the nod.